Damas y caballeros, por favor tomen sus asientos. El programa está a punto de empezar. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The program is about to begin. Damas y caballeros, por favor tomen sus asientos. El programa está a punto de comenzar. Ladies and gentlemen, Please take your seats. The program is about to begin. Damas y caballeros, por favor, tomen sus asientos. El programa está a punto de comenzar.
Take your seats. We're about to begin.
In 2015, the world could no longer ignore the devastating impacts of climate change. The UN climate talks marked a historic opportunity to come together and take bold, decisive action. Purpose Climate Lab was built for action. We unleashed demand from around the world and raised it to a fever pitch that was impossible to ignore. We found key allies outside the climate movement who could rally powerful constituencies to join the fight for a safe, sustainable planet for all. Together, the demand of people and businesses laid the conditions for a landmark agreement. And the bar was set. To deliver on the Paris Agreement, we set out to unlock the will of the people in key regions with the capacity to effect the most change. In India, we channeled public rage over the health emergency caused by air pollution into advocacy for real climate solutions, engaging millions of parents, children, and healthcare professionals, and leading to some of the most progressive clean energy and clean air policies in the world. In Brazil, we mobilized voters to make climate change an election issue, getting 3 major cities to enact climate policies. Today, Sao Paulo is transitioning 15,000 public buses to clean energy. In the UK, we made it easy for millions of households to switch to clean energy in 5 minutes or less. We accelerated efforts to reduce carbon emissions across 90 cities, leading to a 22% reduction overall. Our theory of change? 1. Find allies on the ground. 2. Convert public will into political action. 3. Invest, amplify, and scale local efforts. From pulpits in Poland advocating for climate action to night markets in Kenya running on solar, we turned moments into movements. The IPCC has warned that we only have 12 years to avert the most catastrophic impacts of climate change. What happens in the next 4 years will determine the fate of the planet. We don't have a minute to lose. Purpose Climate Lab is creating the conditions to make this the greatest decade of climate action in history. We're expanding our work to focus on the world's biggest emitters and continuing to invest in powerful allies poised to unlock change. We'll continue to experiment and scale our most successful approaches. With every voice, every action, every new policy, and every new solution, we get closer to our goal. A sustainable planet to improve lives around the world. Join us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Juliana Uribe Villegas, founder of Movilizatorio.
Do a line.
One night when we have dinner and we have wine, then I'll speak Spanish, but until then it's not happening because I just get too shy. I can't, you don't understand. Like, I will turn like beet red.
Presentation. There's a brief presentation, about 10 minutes from a congressman. Not a congressman.
¿Aló? Allá. Bueno, muy excelente forma de empezar la tarde.
A great way of starting this afternoon. I hope you had a great lunch.
En el video anterior les estábamos
Previous
mostrando
video, we were showing you the lab of climate change. We are the lab of citizen participation for Colombia. We're known as a mobilizing agent, and today we're going to be talking about one of the different causes that we're focusing in, and we chose this cause because we believe that this is where we're going to find more allies from the private sector and from the different leaders in this country. And every day we wake up, we turn on our cell phone, we check out our email, we turn on TV, and we encounter the worst news. But there's one type of bad news that really affect all of us, that affect everyone right here in this venue and outside this venue, and we're talking about the environment, we're talking about climate change. And this is something that we used to see, for example, in the advertising of polar bears, but now this is here, this is real, and this is a picture of Bogotá, probably at 7 a.m. Around the world, air pollution is killing more people than AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria together. 7 million people die. It's as if the entire population of Bogota would die every year, and we're talking about more than 8,000 people per year. In the last 3 decades, in regards of deforestation, Colombia has lost 60,000 hectares. Today, we were searching these numbers, and it's as big as Ireland when we talk about territory with absolute deforestation, and this is happening right here in our country. And as last point, we have the water issue. Water is necessary for everybody, not just to survive, but also for all the private activities and all the manufacturing activities of every company. And you know something, a report just came out in March that says that 80% of Andean region right here in Colombia is threatened due to the scarcity of water. It's really tough to talk about this topic because we don't want to sound pessimistic, and we don't want you guys to walk out of this place absolutely worried. That's why we are coming up with a proposal based on those takeaways from the past, from this great lab of climate change from our company. So we want to share that proposal. Number one is that we need to stop talking and we need to move into action. We have passed through a lot of forums, and we see that gap. We lack action, but the most important part of that action is that it needs to be through radical collaboration. We need to stop the perspective. It doesn't matter your political perspective, your status, social status, your gender, or your mentality. When we talk about climate change, this affects everyone, and we all should be able to help each other in order to come up with all those solutions. And the third lesson, the most important one, is that we need to recognize the existing solutions and we need to speed them up. We have talked with different private stakeholders, and it's really impressive what they're doing in regards of sustainability. We need those lessons to scale, to get to other stakeholders. We need to speed this up. That's why the model that we're proposing right now, it's not a model of a fighting model, a model of debate or division. It's a model where we're all getting together in order to be part of that solution. That's why what we're doing in this movement in Colombia is using the technology and strategies of participation in order to boost the work of activists and different members that are involved in this cause. And this is a cause where we need to be involved, all of us, all the different stakeholders. Nowadays, we live in a society that seems to be really dispersed. Even when we talk about the political environment, we feel as if everyone is just on its own, everyone is divided. But we want to change this. We want to start working together in a project that could benefit everybody. We have 5 specific proposals where we see this imminent necessity. The first one is that we need to involve all the citizens in this perspective. We need to transform those behaviors, and we need people to be aware, and therefore we need people to feel involved, so that they're going to be a part of this solution, so that these solutions can be tested to include renewable energy, also as well as having a more sustainable model, thinking about development. We also need to have visibility of those gaps. One of those issues is that environmental leaders are being killed in Colombia, unfortunately, almost every day. And the last point is we need that political will. That will that it's not just about the regulatory framework, but it's about a real implementation and real commitment. We know that this is not something easy to do when we think in different ways, but what we really feel is that we have so many things in common. We have more things in common than things that separate us. It's really easy to say it, but really tough to do it, because all of us that have worked in alliances, and this is why we're here in Concordia, we know that this is a tough thing to do. For the past 3 years, we have been working in Colombia along with this lab of citizen participation and social innovation, and we have learned a lot of things that we would like to share with you guys today. We need a toolbox, a complete toolbox, in order to transform behaviors, in order to transform models. This is not something that it's easy to do. That's why we need research elements, strategic elements, technological elements, communication elements, very powerful alliances, and we need to use creativity and innovation. We also have a methodology. One of the